gonna thunder and pour outside. We were thinking of taking a picnic happy hour up to the mountains, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I hear from G that he's making tacos, vegan tacos for dinner. Yay! I love his tacos. I thought today I've run out of steam to do any kind of demo. Yeah, it's that kind of week. And so I thought what I just do is give you a short update on what is happening here in the Beehive, because it's definitely chaos, but loving every moment of it. As I reorganize my life, I have been reorganizing my spaces. And if you don't know, and you're a Quilt Roadie follower, I started a floss tube channel called Stitch Roadies. So you can go on the Woolly blog and click on that icon for Stitch Roadies, and I've kind of separated out my cross-stitch life a bit, and it makes me feel a little bit more controlled. And I am not by any means slowing down my quilting life. My cross-stitch life has been going on just quietly in the background, and I thought it deserved a little more attention. So I've been organizing that, and I got that all organized, and now I'm back in the Beehive, and going to share with you where I am along in this process. So we were camping. It was an awesome, awesome break. Being on a kind of, it's not really remote because it's only, you know, a few miles outside of Portland, but it's up on the Columbia on an island, and there just isn't a lot of craziness except for on the water on the weekend. Then you see all kinds of people carrying on out there. But it was a really nice break. And I just got a lot of stitching done. So now because I was checked out of the life here, it's gotten backed up. So when I arrived home and I picked up my mail, I had a stack of the Urban Version Primitive Gatherings summer block of the week. And so now I have to prep. I am so happy I just prepped the background all ahead of time. So all I have to do is whip this out and then start prepping it. And the interesting thing about this particular project is it's a repeat of about 2 of the same blocks. So what makes each block different is the stitching that you do on the block, and that has really been fun to do. But I now have, in my mail, I had block 6, 7, 8, and 9. 4 blocks. Yeah. So I have to prep 4 blocks, plus 4 little sheep. And then as I was thinking about it, I thought, block 9 is here. I think this is only a 9-block quilt, which means the border's coming next. So today I am going to be prepping all of those urban blocks so that if I do hit the road again, or I have an opportunity to sit in a doctor's waiting area and need to stitch something, I will have a variety of things to choose from. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm starting with block 6, and then my little sheepy block. I can't wait to see this thing all done, the little sheep. It's fun. I also, see there's missing in the center, Autumn Harvest, Buttermilk Basin. I've got my Temecula ruler box filled with luscious, luscious threads. You know, her husband makes these boxes at Temecula Quilt, the quilt company. And I love this as a way to organize myself. So I took the block down and I started stitching on it. Got my little bee needle minder. You know, you wouldn't think you would need so many needle minders, but when you are like me and you have a gazillion projects to ongoing, you need a lot of those needle minders. And the thing about it is, I get bored easily, so I have to keep rotating projects. And it helps if they're already prepped, because if they're already prepped, then I can just grab and stitch. So this one, I just love this. This is Autumn Harvest. It was a block of the month, but now I think you can get the whole kit, I'm not sure, but on Buttermilk Basin. Which makes me just, I can't wait. It's countdown to Woolstock. Oh my gosh, are we going to have fun? So that was that. Oh, and then I agreed to be on, to fill in, like a fill-in segment on the Quilt Show, which is Alex Anderson and Ricky Tim's online magazine and show. And they are remote filming, and they've come to my house and done remote filming before, which was the very first time I was exposed to that experience, and it was jaw-dropping. I had no clue what it takes to make a TV show, and I made good friends with the producer, who is just amazing. Amazing how she pulls all these crazy people into a fabulous show. And then I went to 2 years or so ago, I was a guest on the show, and that was in Colorado. And they film, like in a 2-week period, they film like 3 or 4 seasons of shows. And so that was really fun. That was fun to see. And you'd be able to, if you haven't seen that, there's older videos where G took videos of people videoing. Yes, that's what we're about. So now they're doing a week, a season, I think it's a season's worth of filming in a week back here again, in what they call a remote shooting, filming, videoing, whatever they call that. So, in thinking about what I might talk about, and they have the ultimate say on what they want, because they know the balance of shows and topics that are in a lineup. I will be speaking about Sashiko, which, if you've been around a while, you know that's another love of mine. And so I had to, I mean, I don't have much to show them, so I'm having to hustle a little bit in getting some things done. And so I decided to stitch up a little Sashiko quilt. And I was lucky enough that I was gifted this background material, and then I had this cyanotype, which I do with Sylvia. And this is done with special fabric, and then laying it out in the sun with the cutouts on it, and it creates that. And she does sell that on her site, Sylvia Pippin, up in LaConner, Washington. And then you can't see it, but I've already put a Sashiko design here, and I will be stitching that before next week, because you know, it's like that sign up there says, deadlines amuse me. And I have my Sashiko thread in my Temecula Quilt Company little box. Love these boxes. So I have that to do. And I don't know about you, I'm already getting tired. And then there's this Just a Buzzin'. It's a crane design, and If you've never seen crane design, Google it. Oh my gosh. And when I saw this one, it was a while ago. I know it's still available, but when I got this pattern, it was, I'm thinking 3 years or so ago at Corn Wagon Quilts in Springville, Utah. And when I saw the sample, I just fell in love, because after all, it is bees. Bees a-buzzin'. So I got that all stitched, and I decided not to do it exactly like they wanted. So you see how on the black borders on either side there's that squiggly gold line? I don't know, that was just not working for me. I mean, I don't know why, but it just wasn't. And so, and they layered it like a wool mat, like you would layer a wool mat. So there was no batting or quilting. It was just stitching front and back together, and then whip stitched around the edge, or blanket stitch around the edge. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I decided that I was going to layer it and quilt it. So I put the black on either end. Isn't that just gorgeous? I mean, can you see the stitching I did in that bee? Oh, that is just amazing. Sometimes I just amaze myself. Oh, well, if you can't be your own best friend, who can you be? What I decided to do, though, was layer it. So I did put batting and then the backing. And I'm going to quilt it. And rather than do that braid that was out here, I am going to quilt all the way out. And the way I'm going to quilt it is I am going to take this honeycomb pattern and just keep setting it in. And wherever it ended up, that'll be quilted like that. And that's all I'm going to do. Not a big fancy, not going to quilt the bees, just a honeycomb pattern. And I'm going to go around these ones that are already on here and take it all the way to the black. So it will show up on the black because I'm using gold thread. And then I think all I'm going to do is use some heavier Baldani thread and blanket stitch around the edge. And then we'll call it good. I think I'm going to like that. I hope I'm going to like that. I don't know what you guys think. Would you do that? It was really odd to put batting in here, and I used fusible batting because I had a chunk in my closet, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to use fusible batting, and then I'm going to quilt that. What else? I think that about brings you up to date in the chaos. And it is a bit of a chaotic time here. Oh, one more thing. Let me go get it. Not that I'm ignoring you guys. I know. I'm coming back. When I separated out and reorganized my cross stitch, I ended up with an empty project box. And in that project box is everything to make this. Remember this Tannenbaum? I was going to start a sew-along in September. Well, that's just freaking crazy. I don't know what I was thinking about. I am going to do a sew-along, but it is not going to be in September. I have a wedding. My oldest son's getting married at the end of the first week of September. And then I have to go to Portland because the girlfriend's flying in. And then it's my anniversary. Yeah, G and I were trying to calculate how many years have we put up with each other. You know, we got married. We got engaged after knowing each other for 2 weeks. So we didn't have a long dating period. So we can't say, oh, I've been married, blah, 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 but we've really been together this long. No, that wasn't us. We are all about the fast decisions. But I am going to do this. But what I realized is when I first had this harebrained idea, I was going to do the sew along, start in September, do one section every week, have it done before the end of October so it could be quilted and hanging at Christmas. That was insanity at its worst. What I have been able to accomplish is to gather the fabrics, because I wanted to use her same fabrics. I just did. I loved it, and it was, I loved the way it looked, and so I just wanted to give it a go, just like she did. But I will not be starting this at the beginning of September. I'll tell you when I start it, and I will start it so that we have it done before next Christmas. But it may be, depending on how life goes, I may start it in November, and then go from there. It is really a cute pattern. And it's already got its own project box. And just if you guys are freaked out about what looks like, let me show you. I'll pull the picture out here for you. What looks like applique, in fact, sweet woman that she is, it's already pre-cut with fusible webbing on it. This woman knows what it's like to be a person in this day and age with our schedules. So I'm very happy about that. So I haven't forgotten about the Tannenbaum sew-along. It's just that I have a wedding. I'm so excited for my son. He has found the most amazing person. So, and that's all you want, is for your children to be with someone who, you know, gets them. His brain works so much like mine, it freaks me out. Always on the go, that kid. So let's see, that would be it. That would be it. I hope that you'll hang in there through all our chaos, and that you'll keep stitching, and that if you're interested in cross stitch, you can go on over to the Stitch Roadies Floss Tube channel and take a look at that. Other than that, thank you. Have a good day. I hope that everyone's treating you well, and that you're treating everyone else well, and that your health is hanging in there. So I'm heading over to Five Pines today because the Quilt Show with Alex Anderson and Ricky Timms is doing a remote season videoing for a whole season of shows to play next year. And I am one of the guests on that particular episode. I don't know which one, but I am actually scheduled for my videoing. Oops, sorry for the jiggle there. I'm actually scheduled for my segment tomorrow, but I thought I'd go over and check out Violet Craft, who is being interviewed today. So come along with me. It's so pretty here at Five Pines, and this is where the Sunday part of the Quilt Show in July is held with one special quilter and designer. And the quilts, if you remember, are hung all throughout these trees that are around here along the path. But today, the Quilt Show is doing a remote season right in here. And
go away.
Hey, and then
welcome. Come on in. Come on in.
The studio away from home. And here's that fabulous producer. Last minute work.
Which is the reason I didn't go
zoom in. Well, zoom in as far as you can right now. I mean, and you pointed at the green one for sure.
Yeah, but
I know I did.
I'm telling you, it's tiny from where.
But he wasn't zoomed in all the way.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying someone has to get it. It needs to come out too, I would think, because it's.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of, yeah.
Do you need a tissue?
I needed to stop. The tissue.
Well, then doing it this way. Would you say, and boy, this is a blanket question, and I don't think I'm going to ask it, but
Oil pastels, and I do have another sample I can show you really quickly on the table.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Thanks for watching.
And be sure to like and subscribe on Quilt Roadies.